Guys, and welcome back to my channel. My name is Johanna. For those of you who are new here, welcome. For those of you who are returning, welcome back. A great big shout out to my channel members for supporting my channel. Thank you. All right, guys, I did want to play around with some new things that I've recently purchased, as well as tackling a page that I generally wouldn't, but with some of these pencils, specifically these here, they were purchased for that purpose. And let me just move all this stuff off to the side. Let me show packaging before I actually do that. So these pens are some glitter gel pens that I featured in a recent haul by Pentonic. It was recommended to me by Amazon. I think these are like $4 or $5 US. I don't know that I've ever seen these. I don't know how well they actually work, but I will check them out. These pencils right here are 6 Prismacolor Junior Pastels, 6 Prismacolor Junior pencils in pastel. I think this is coming out of either Mexico or Spain because all of the junior Prismacolors have all had Spanish writing. So I don't know what market this actually is for. But again, I've seen these, I think I've seen them recommended on Instagram, and I think there's a bigger set, but I wanted to try these out, and I'll actually talk about these before I use them. And then these pencils right here are some rainbow type pencils from Tinivi, also from Amazon. I think this was like $6 or $7. There's 12 pencils, and as I mentioned in that haul, unlike most of the rainbow pencils that I've been looking at on Amazon, all of these have different colorways. So it isn't the same 6 pencils with the same colorways. It is all different, and I do like that. So now I'm going to move all this to the side. And the reason why I purchased these is because there are certain pages, especially in Joanna Basford's books, that I just do not gravitate towards, like something like this wallpapery page. But when I was working on a page last month in Small Victories, let me mark this one as a potential. I did kind of liked the mindlessness of working on a page like this, where you've got similar elements and there's not a lot to think about once you've chosen your pencils. Now, I think this is the one we're going to work on. But I still want my pages to look interesting. They don't have to be perfect. They don't have to be artist grade. I want it to be more than just a flat coloring. So if I were to use just, let's pick this one, just one color on here, I'd want to do a little more than just the blue color, because I want it to be interesting. Visually interesting when I look back on the page, but also interesting on, you know, playing with my stuff. And that isn't interesting enough for me. Now, I can tell you right now, as we're going to have simultaneous conversations, that the color goes down rather well on these Prismacolor Junior pencils. But they are definitely not as soft feeling as a regular Prismacolor. Also, they don't have numbers on them. And this one is Azul Pastel. That's the name on here. So I'll have to actually bust out my 150. Well, I don't know that I'll actually do that, but if I'm really curious, then I'll have to see in the 150 if there is a pencil that's this color. But yeah, nice pencil, but not as creamy as a regular Prismacolor. Okay, so that's just flat. Now I'll show you how to build that up in a little bit, but I thought with these pencils here that have multiple colors, and you can actually see it better that way, maybe that way. I film blind, so I'm hoping you guys can see this. Let me pick an element that's rather big. Let me sharpen this a little bit. Now, I'm going to tell you right now, I've played with these rainbow pencils. Oh, I'm using my Doll 133. And these are not the best quality. But if I just put color down and rotate the pencil, and I'll try to zoom in during editing so you can see this a little better. I'm getting a variation, and sometimes I can get a variation within the same element that I'm coloring that I think is just so interesting. And those flowers are all along here. And to me, there's just something more interesting about, even though it just on the face of it, looking at this, you wouldn't think they were colored with the same pencil. But to me, this is a lot more effortless to add interest to a page than what I'll show you how I'd add interest here. They are a bit scratchy, and it's weird because some of the colors are a bit scratchy. Some of the colors move rather well, like the purpley one, this pencil in particular, moves rather well. Let me grab a yellow one in just a bit. Now, if you lean towards perfectionism, or if you are a swatcher, and I am neither of those things, then something like this might actually drive you crazy because you don't have the control over what color is coming out. I like that I've done 6 flowers so far and none of them look the same, although it's the exact same flower for each of them. Okay, so let me get a one that has yellow in it. So this one is greens and yellows. And let's work on these things here. I found when I was working on something last night that sometimes the yellow pigment seems to be super scratchy, like I can't get any color out. But then if I rotate the pencil, then I can get a different color. So again, not the best quality of pencil. And they are quite gimmicky because I can't see working on this on like skin tone, although there aren't any skin tone colors if I want to do like human skin tones. It might be interesting to work with this. Oh, see, interesting. On something that isn't either human or that you're trying to make look a little different. But for these kind of pages where I'm feeling like coloring, but I'm not feeling like thinking, and I actually really don't care about the outcome, I want to keep my hands busy maybe while I'm watching anime, I thought these pencils would be really good for that because it's pretty low stakes for me. So I'd still be compelled to color all of the things with the same pencil. So all of the things that are like that, which are just right there, I don't see anything else like that on the page, I would color with this. And then I would take this page probably on some of the outer edge things just to bring the color out, because again, there's only 12 pencils. But I feel like at the end of it, I could get a really interesting page that looks like I might have put a lot more effort in it than I actually did, because I'm using a pencil that has a variety of different colors in it. So for like this one, that's just a flat color. I could press harder and burnish, and it does change the tone because it saturates it a little bit more. It's slight. I certainly can see it in person. I'm not sure if you guys can see it from on camera, but I can take a Prisma. I just have this one to the side. This is just a regular Prismacolor Premier Mediterranean Blue PC 1022. And I can add some color to add some dimension. And again, for my purposes, I'm not trying to level up a skill. I'm not trying to actually impress anyone. I'm just, what is interesting for me? Now, when I'm using pencils specifically, I do have a sort of threshold on how long I can play around with pencils before my arm hurts, or my hand cramps up, or my shoulder starts to feel weird, because I am right-handed and I can't have my hobby affect my work. So actually, I colored quite a bit yesterday. I don't know that I'll be coloring a lot later on today, just because my hand is already starting to go numb. But I figured on something mindless, I can just pick up one of these pencils and then just color this, whether it's for 5 minutes or 5 hours, whatever. But it's a way to tackle a page that I generally wouldn't, because these don't really, I don't really gravitate towards these kinds of pages. But also it's a way for me to have fun in a hobby that maybe I wouldn't have, because on something that's a little bit more high stakes or that I have more interest in, I'd have to be more in the moment. This is really mindless for me. Let me see if I can pull some of that color up. That's probably the biggest draw on a Prismacolor, is that you can kind of smush the color. So that the line that was there isn't so harsh. Actually, it was really nice. Let me add some more. This was Deoxamine Purple Hue, PC 132. And if you notice, I actually haven't sharpened that one yet. That's actually from my original 150 set. I pulled out all of the pencils I had not sharpened yet. So as you can see, again, interesting. It definitely takes a lot more effort to do something like this than to do something like that. I'm gonna have to put a post-it note on the colors I used, because there's some elements the same, and I'll want them all to look the same. That's just how my brain works. So let's use some of those Pentonic glitter pens. So it does have the color of the pen wrapped around the cover, as well as at the base, which is good, because I'm probably going to store them this way. So I normally wouldn't use gel pen now. Usually this is one of the things I do last, but let's, oh, okay. First thing I thought of was, wow, that comes out really nicely. It's very glittery, but I hope there's enough color in this pen to get me through the whole page. If anything, I might only do around these little elements here. but they flow really nicely. Again, they might be out in the community. I just don't remember seeing them. So let's do silver. That comes out nicely. Maybe too nicely. Okay, so silver and gold. None of these have names on them. Let's do in here. So this is a blue. And it looks like the glitter in it is silvery in that blue one. Again, not the best to do this first before the pencil, but it's fine, we'll deal. And purple. That one also seems to have glitter that's silvery, because that's what I'd normally do. Do whatever pencil work I'm gonna do, and then this be the element that I do last, because I have this really bad habit of not letting it dry and then smudging it. That's really pretty. And then orange. I do like how they flow. It's got good coverage and it's rather opaque, although it does seem like the glitter that it pulls is silver. I think with the dual hybrid, the different glitters, different color glitter, is what makes it such an interesting glitter pen to me, and it is still my favorite. Although again, these flow real nicely. So there's a plus, and honestly, I'd probably buy these again. This is a purple. It's rather dark. If I looked at it, I don't know that I'd know that it was purple. Just want to get through all the different pens. Oh, there's some more here. This one is black. Now this one I really like, because the black in the dual hybrid metallic has a red glitter base. Yep. And other than the gold, all of the others seems to have a silver glitter base. But that's a really nice black. But I don't know that you can just buy the black. So let's see about the light blue. Oh, that's a nice one. As compared to the dark blue right there. I've got two more colors to do. And because again, I don't swatch. So if I wanted a blue gel pen, I would pick one of the blues and I would just get what I would get. So this is just a way for you guys to see the colors. That green is really nice. And then the last one, yeah, I think I've taken off the ones off the desk, is the red. Also very nice. I don't know in the dual hybrid if there's a red gel pen. So would I recommend these gel pens? If you are cool with it having a silver glitter base other than the gold pen, I actually would. I think they're rather opaque. They flow really nicely. Now, I only just got them. I only just took them out of the box. I don't know how long they're going to last, but I think they are pretty, and hopefully you guys can see the glitter on there. Would I recommend these pencils right here? Again, if you are cool with them being slightly scratchy and you have very little control over what color gets down on the page that you're working on, I think these can actually be really interesting. I am looking at the Koh-i-Noor Tritone pencils because it has very similar aspects where there's 3 colors in a pencil, but I think it's a better quality pencil. But they are pricey because, again, these 12 pencils I think were like $6 or $7. For 24 Koh-i-Noor Tritone, I think it's what it's called, it's like 30 something dollars. But I am really liking that effect. And when I'm doing a base of a color, let's do that. So let's say, again, I want to pick something big enough so that you guys can see it. Let's just do these. So because this is a double-sided book, let's say I base with a watercolored marker. I'm doing multiple so that the first one can dry. So this flower actually features rather large in here, so I'll need to remember what pencil I used. This flower is actually only on the perimeter. It just helps me figure out where I need to put this same color if I decide to finish out this page, which I may decide not to, who knows. Okay, so did a base color of that. Again, flat color, same kind of issue that I had there. So let's take this one. We haven't used this one yet. I don't know if this is going to be a really good example because I don't know if this is still wet. Okay, let's take a different one and see if it will layer. Now, I normally wouldn't use contrasting colors like this. But that's interesting. Because the issue with a page like this is after a while, your eyes don't know exactly what to look at. So if I can use something like this, that gives me a lot of interest with very little effort. Because what I would do is I would look for all the similar flower or element, and I would do all of that all at one time. And then I would come in and I would do, oh, see, now, isn't that interesting looking? That is interesting looking. And I wouldn't feel the need to do anything more with that flower other than probably put a little button of glitter gel pen. Yeah, that's not something I thought would look as nice as it does, but I think that looks really nice. So I think that could be interesting if you are doing double page spreads with a water-based marker and then you use something like this. Again, you're not going to have control over what comes out of it, but I think the effect can be interesting with actually very minimal effort because you have quite a few colors going on here. So it doesn't necessarily look like exactly the same flower, but you've used the same 2 elements for all of the flowers. And I just think that's a lot easier. Anyway, guys, I'd love to know what you guys think of this video. If you'd like to see more of this, just playing around, testing things, definitely let me know. I don't generally film stuff like this, but especially with things like this, which are quite gimmicky. Again, it's not the best colored pencil. I definitely see uses for it that will make a page that I would necessarily not gravitate towards fundamentally more interesting because it kind of unfolds as I'm doing it. I don't know what it's going to end up like until I'm actually done with the element, and that kind of element of surprise I think is really intriguing. Anyway, guys, that's it for me for this video. I'd love to know what you guys think in the comment section below. All right, hope you guys have a great day, and as always, Allah.